to the Coach Hazey podcast.
Okay, welcome Adam to the Coach Hazey podcast. Would you like to introduce yourself?
What's good, Lee? My name's Adam Dougui. I'm 20 years old. I'm a forward player on the wing or number 10, and I play football in Kosovo for a team called Suhareka.
Okay, nice. And tell us about your playing journey. So like where did it start? Your journey from, from the QPR and from before that. Just give us a kind of brief understanding of how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, cool. So as a kid, coming up I got into football around the age of, I'd say 6, 7. And I never really got into it playing as a kid. Like it was never my thing. I had a family friend who would go to sports links. We make footballers now, they're called.
Okay.
And they would go every Saturday morning, and his mum would come to my house to just chill while her son would play. So then one day I just thought, let me just go with him. And I went. I liked it, but I couldn't quite understand like football in terms. I just wanted to just be there and just run around really.
Yeah.
And then I just kept going, and then started watching videos as a kid. And then I joined a team called Old Isoworthians, who are heavily linked with them.
How old was you at the time?
Joined them around 7, 8 as well.
Yeah.
And it was just fun, like hella fun at that point. Just I sort of developed like being skillful, watching the videos and stuff. I used to just try to play football like football compilations. That's just how I used to try to play football. Like, I had no intention of scoring or nothing. And then I was there for a while, like a year or so, 2 years. And I had a few trials at Chelsea Development Centre.
Okay.
In that period. I also went to the Reading Development Centre in that period. And I never took it as serious as it was at the time. Obviously, I didn't know how serious it was as well. And then at that point in my life, my father was very present, so he would be taking me to and from training and whatnot, games and stuff. And then there was a time period when he wasn't as present, and that's when I say I'd stopped playing football really. That was around the age of 10. And from that point I just stopped playing football, just school, whatever. Obviously I made sure I stayed fit, just like being a kid and stuff. But I never played football. And then I went to like secondary school and stuff, and my friend joined a football team called Hampton and Richmond.
I've heard of them.
So it was just Sunday league at that point, and I figured if I join here with my friend and I got a way to get to football and stuff, so it might work for me. So I joined Hampton and Richmond. I say at the age of 13, 14 that time. And I just played on the wing, up top, 10 role. And it was just fun, like just to develop my fun back for football. I was loving it. We won the league, done well in the cup at that point. Then the season was coming to an end, and I didn't really know what I was going to do. I thought, like, in the back of my head, I knew I was probably too good for that level, but I was just content with it. Like I would have just probably stayed there again, but I didn't know what I was going to do. And then the coach of Hampton and Richmond emailed my details to a few like coaches he'd done his badges with and stuff. And I told him, look, I've got this boy. He's probably too good for this level, but if anyone wants to have a look. And I just got a call on a random like school night from a coach called Mark Osborne, probably one of the best coaches I've had up until this day. And he was the coach of Bedfont Eagles. So he told me if I wanted to come and get involved and stuff. And he was one of those coaches who could have moved on, been a higher coach at academy level and whatnot, but he again was content because he had his son and stuff. And I joined Bedford Eagles for that season. Probably like 15 season, I think, 14, 15 season that time. And it was the best I can remember. Just playing number 10, had a few of my friends on the team as well. And we were just wiping teams out like double digits every week, home and away.
Wow, that sounds good.
Yeah, I remember that season I scored 35 goals and the other striker playing next to me scored 28. So we were just wiping teams out. And that's, I think, when football became a bit serious for me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I just said to myself, like, if I lock in here, I can really do something. And then the season was coming towards the end there as well. And it was starting to, like, pre-season time was starting to happen. And one of my friends called me and said, we've got a friendly from my team against QPR.
Yep.
And in the back of my mind, I wasn't really going to go because I was out the day before at my friend for, like, I had a sleepover there and I wasn't really thinking about it in the morning. And then I just said, I'll let you know how I'm feeling in the morning. And woke up early and I went to that game. Where we played against QPR, where I met Lee the first day.
I remember.
And yeah, I didn't start the game because obviously the manager just had no clue who I was, type thing. And then as the game went on, he put me on, I think, in the second half, I think it was. And I was just playing freely, just having my fun. I think I scored 2, I think. Yeah, I was just loving it again.
Yeah. No, I remember yeah, that's where we crossed paths. And I remember that day very clearly because people were saying, oh yeah, this team's good. So we got the team in, we played, and to be honest, like what I see was a player that just had freedom and just showing wow moments on the ball. And like when I was speaking to some of the coaches, I was like, no, this player's got talent. Like the way he moves with the ball, the way he dribbles, the way he scores. And again, you're playing against QPR, and you just, for me, I think you smashed it. And yeah, like that's the day we kind of crossed paths. And I spoke to the coach and said, look, can we get him in? And then yeah, that's the rest is history. And you came in and you done really well, and then we signed you. And I thought you came in and yeah, you just different. You was different. So yeah, that's why we kind of signed you. So yeah, well done.
Yeah,
It's crazy
thanks,
how
Steve.
things happen. It's crazy how things happen, isn't it? And crazy how people cross paths, and then you are where you are now. So in terms of like at QPR, like I know you're not there now, but in terms of things happen for reasons. But like, did you enjoy it there? Like, how did you find it?
Yeah, so I think when I first joined, it was all like exciting. Everything was, I mean, I was just like where I wanted to be in my life, like where I always imagined myself being. So it was very enjoyable. Obviously, there was like a sense of pressure coming in. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was very enjoyable for the first 2 years, I'd say. And then when when people like to say things got serious, then it became less enjoyable for me. I think it was just because I was being told how to play. Obviously trying to fit into a structure, and like just moving up, playing with older boys and stuff. Like,
big challenge.
Just everything changed. Yeah, for sure.
What so at the moment, so what is your biggest challenge playing abroad? Because like, the podcast, what we're talking about now is like getting coaches and players like yourself playing abroad. What are the challenges? I know being away from home is a challenge. But what's your day-to-day like challenges? What do you come across? How do you deal with it? If you're not playing well, what's your strategies?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think the challenges I've faced coming out and I've been facing are just, as you said, being away from home is massive. Just because the type of person I am, I'm a very like family man. Also, like I'm a strong believer in like football's football, and then when you're home, it's home time. You know what I mean? And like being out here alone, it's like constantly locked in. Another challenge is just like growing up, I guess, like just living by myself. You know what I mean? Having to cook for myself, having to prep all these things. You know what I mean? And it's like discipline and growth on a whole different level, I'd say. Another thing is language barriers.
Yeah.
Can be a bit challenging, for sure. And it's like, I'm sure you'll know, but like you can communicate with someone to a certain point.
Yeah.
And then it's like, then the Google Translate comes out and stuff. You know what
100%. Do you get
And
sometimes you get a bit frustrated sometimes when you can't communicate or you have to use your phone? Like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I get frustrated in the sense of like, well, luckily, my manager does speak a good amount of English, but sometimes like during team talks and like feedback and stuff, obviously the communication is quite minimal, which sometimes can be frustrating because it's massive in football. You know what I mean?
Good. So why Kosovo? Like, what brought you to Kosovo?
Yeah, a bit random. So my agent, Jamil, he has a friend who is Albanian from descent, and he's quite good in this market, I'd say, like bringing players out from abroad and stuff, and bringing players here, even like players from here to clubs around. He kind of does that, and my agent presented to me the opportunity and said, I got a friend out there who knows a manager and stuff, and they're looking for players abroad in your position and stuff. And this was just before I signed for Dulwich Hamlet, where I was at maybe 6 months ago. And I had the opportunity to come out here, but I just lacked knowledge in terms of like the football here, the clubs here, just everything. So I didn't really want to take that risk. I didn't really want to take that jump. And I just signed for Dulwich instead. Obviously, as you were saying, everything happens for a reason. And then yeah, we after things happened at Dulwich, I got on the phone with Arba, who does that here, and he spoke to me about the project they have for me here with the club.
Yeah.
And just speaking directly with the manager and stuff, and them actually like showing me and telling me the things they have planned for me out here. And then I just came out here for a bit before I officially signed to see what it would be like.
Yeah.
And yeah,
you enjoyed it.
I could see myself settling in for sure. So went back home, took my stuff, and came back.
That's good. Yeah. So you know, I really respect what you're doing because, you know, like myself, you know, you're making a sacrifice of not being with your family, you know, being away from your friends, being away from loved ones, and you know, you're going out there and you kind of you're living your dream. And you know what, it's a credit to you. And you know, a lot of players from the UK will just kind of be comfortable in their comfort zone and just stay playing semi-professional, be happy what they're doing. Whereas you're stepping out your comfort zone, you know, you're challenging yourself in a different way. I'm really, yeah, really, really proud of you, you know, kind of doing that. What is your daily schedule? So like talk us through, you know, like the steps that you do in terms of your daily schedule. What does it look like?
Yeah, cool. So we train quite local, like a 10-minute walk away from where I live. Usually train in the mornings, so I'll be up around like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Usually get to the training ground for like 9:30. So once I'm up, I like to have 2 boiled eggs.
Yep, love that.
That's my go-to breakfast. And I'll just have some coffee maybe in the morning, and that'll get me going. Walk down to the training pitch, and then we'll train. Obviously, depending on the day, how long we'll train. Usually an early finish. Come back home. Might have some more food. Probably like some chicken and salad that I've meal prepped from the night before, and then I'll probably get like a couple hours sleep in.
Mm.
And then that takes me to around 3-4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Where I'll go to the gym, which is perfectly opposite where I live.
Mm.
So once I'm in the gym, obviously depending on how the week's gone and the game schedule,
Yeah.
depending on what I do in the gym. But most of the time I like to focus on uppers, just because the legs are usually active from the week training. So I like to focus on uppers and just core strength and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Once I'm done in the gym, come home, shower up, have some more food. And then, yeah, just chilling, probably jump on call with the family.
Yep.
Dive into a book just before bedtime, and then that's me.
Good. Sounds good. In terms of the physicality, what's it like in terms of the football, the style? Have you fit in terms of the way they play? Like, what's your, how do you guys play and how you set up?
Yeah, so the physicality is nowhere near what it's like in England. That's one massive difference I saw. Like players aren't as big, strong, fast, but there's a flip side to it where everyone's very technical, very good on the ball, which suits me, I'd say. And the playing style is very fast. Like everyone's 2-touch, 3-touch, and I would say, obviously, a lot of the time, moving to a new club abroad and stuff is very like galvanized, but you're gonna hit like a struggle time. And I think the first week, 2 weeks was a bit hard for me just to adapt to that.
Yeah.
Just to adapt to the whole playing of 2-touch, quick.
Yeah.
And once I picked that up, I think I was flowing. Obviously, getting on the same page with the players is important as well.
Yeah. 100%.
And yeah, I say that's the major difference. Just everyone's very technical on the ball. Like no one's gonna like hoof it out to clear it. No one's gonna like. There's no towering big defenders type thing. Everyone's just very good on the ball. So possession is just key out here, which suits me, I'd say.
But like it's like playing out from the back, playing to the centre backs, playing to the midfield. They wouldn't kind of go long, or it depends what the situation is.
Yeah, just really depends, but it's not as common, I'd say. It's not as common.
Cool. Sounds good. So in terms of you, so what motivates you? So what gets you up in the morning? What motivates you in terms of playing football? Like, what is your drive and your motivation?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'd say for me, it's always been the same thing. And even like now that I'm out here, still the same thing. Like, on my phone, I've got my mum on my lock screen. So every day I wake up and I just see that. That's my motivation, to me, honestly.
That drives you.
Just my mum just gives me my drive, my motivation. Like, like she's my reason. She's my reason for why I do everything. So just waking up, seeing my mum on my lock screen, that's just like, just keeps me grounded. Makes me remember why I'm here, why I'm doing everything, I'd say.
I think you touched on this question as well in terms of tell us about your experience of playing in the country that you are at the moment. So you kind of like, you touched on it a little bit, but go in a little bit more detail in terms of, the culture, the food, the people, the coaches, like just kind of give us a brief explanation in terms of how it is.
Yeah. Obviously there's a lot of like politics and stuff that happens behind the scenes in football everywhere. So I'm sure there's a lot of that out here. I haven't been exposed to much, but I'm sure there's a lot of that out here. The coaches are very direct with what they have to say to you, like in terms of feedback, what you're doing well, what you're doing wrong, what needs to be done and stuff. Like they'll just say it to you straight. Whereas I think I found in the past, maybe that's because I haven't been playing as much men's football, but just in general in England, it's very much just like a lot of people will just be saying it amongst themselves type thing. So the coaches are very vocal with that.
Or the direct.
The foods, yeah.
Like, say, for example, Adam, if you're not doing it today, this is why you're not doing it. You need to do this, this, and this, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. And like things that happen on the pitch, they'll call me up on it straight away. Like, like how did you miss that? Or why didn't you pass it? Or that was a very good shot. Do you know what I mean? Like they're very vocal with that. The culture in terms of like the food and stuff like that is it's quite like just generic. They have just like simple stuff like just chicken and salad. Like everywhere's quite simple. Yeah, everywhere's quite simple. But one thing I will say is the professionalism at the team I'm at, because I can only speak for what I've been exposed to, is top. Like we have top coaches. The infrastructure behind like the owners of the club and stuff are top. Like they're very like in touch with the players. They come to training sessions all the time. They come to games, speak directly with players. Like they welcomed me fully. The hospitality has been great, which I think we lack in England.
Yeah.
And yeah, like in terms of professionalism, like everything's top.
Sounds good. Like in terms of traveling and stuff like that, everything's organized.
Yeah, we have a team bus, which we take all the time. Hotel trips are all planned and paid for. Pre-match meals and everything is all sorted. Analysis we have after training, before training and whatnot. So it's top.
Yeah. So you're well looked after then, yeah?
Yeah, can't complain, man.
Good. Okay, so who is your favorite player, and why?
Oh, favorite player. My favorite player again has been the same player since I started playing football and still is now. Neymar Jr. has to be.
Okay, Neymar. Nice.
I gravitated towards him as I touched on before. Like when I first started playing football, I used to just watch videos and compilations and stuff like that, and I just watch Neymar skill videos all night and then try just copy and paste it on the pitch tomorrow. So
yeah, that's good. I like that. So in terms of like, what's your routine in terms of you're gonna prepare for a game? Like, what does that look like? So you know how you prepare. You know what's going through your mind. Do you set yourself targets before the game? You know how many shots can I get in? You know how many crosses and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the way I do things before a game is I haven't got no like special ritual or anything, but I'm a bit superstitious when it comes to boots. Got to make sure I got my favorite boots on that I've been training in the week.
Okay, nice.
And then once I'm in a game, I'm just thinking, how can I affect the game to the best of my abilities? And just, I think playing in the 10 role, I think I'm just looking around constantly where the best pockets are and stuff for me to get the ball. Weak points as well. And I think I use halftime quite well to just sit and just analyze what I've done. Like, why am I not getting enough shots off? Why haven't I? Like, why did that one go wide and stuff? And I don't like to talk much. I just like to just stay in the zone. You know what I mean? And just stay locked in. Yeah. That's pretty much my game ritual.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us about your experience of playing international for your country. That would be a good. Yeah, I want to understand you in terms of playing for your country. How was that feeling?
Yeah, the feeling was amazing. Like, a lot of people say when those top moments happen in your life, you don't have the words to describe it, and it was quite literally that. So to give more of an understanding, I played in the Arab Cup for the under-20s.
What country?
Algeria.
Algeria, okay.
And it was hosted in Egypt. So I went with the under-20s. Obviously, I was a younger boy at the time. And the assistant manager was the one that brought me out there. So the first manager didn't really have me in his plans, I like to say.
Yeah.
He didn't really know much about me. So I just went out there kind of to make up the squad numbers, you know what I mean? And I was just training well, just trying to get in the team and stuff. And the competition started. And brought me on for like the last 5 minutes just to make my debut and whatnot. And then we won one, lost one, and I think we drew one. And the next one we played, we had to either draw or win.
Yeah.
And obviously I wasn't starting that game. I was just on the bench. And we're playing against Niger. It was crazy heat. It was like 45 degrees, like 3 p.m. kickoff, crazy. Yeah. And they scored 2 early goals in the first half, and we were like, this might be the end for us.
Yeah.
And then the manager went in at half time, and obviously I went on the pitch to do my little warm up. I was just doing kick ups and stuff. I didn't really think I was going to come on, and then he came out and called me in, and I was like, "It's go time now." So yeah, I came on then at halftime, and I was just going at it. Like I was just running around, just getting ratty, just feeding off the scraps, and I crossed one in on my left foot, and it deflected in off the defender, and I was like, "Hold on, we've got a chance here." So then we grabbed the ball.
So you scored?
Yeah.
Was it on goal? You scored it?
It was an own goal, but I think they put it down as me.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Then the game's going on, and it's like they're on us now. We got a few set pieces and stuff, and now we're in extra time, like the 93rd minute, I think it was. And the ball was switched over to me on the edge of the box, and I just touched it and just slapped it into the top corner and made it 2-2.
Wow.
And that was, that point in my life was just like the best footballing feeling I've ever had, like especially for my country.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. And then from then, did you starting the games?
Yeah, I started in the next game against Morocco where we won on penalties.
Yeah.
And then we lost in the final against Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. How were they? Were they hard to play against?
Yeah, they had a few decent players. Oh, sorry, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, they had a few decent players. They looked like a well-structured team, like they knew each other type thing. But yeah, that was my first call up to Algeria. And then the next summer I was with my age group where we played in Algeria, and we hosted the Mediterranean games. And this time the assistant manager was head manager, so I was kind of more looked after, you know what I mean? And started all games. We had crazy hospitality because obviously we were hosting it. We had like 50,000-60,000 fans.
Wow.
So it was crazy. It was crazy for real.
Oh, that's a great experience. And do they call you up now, or like what's the process? Like, you know, are they keeping tabs on you?
Yeah, so for the last year or so, I think they haven't been focusing on the youth team as much.
Yeah.
Because they're more focused on the men's team, getting results, qualifying for major competitions, because there's a high expectation, so they haven't been pumping much energy into the youth team. But I'd like to think I'm on the tabs for the men's first team, hopefully. And that's my goals anyway, for sure.
Oh, that's a great experience playing for your country, and you know, was it under-20s, playing in under-20s cup? So yeah, that's a great experience. Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years, next year or the next 3 years? Where do you see yourself?
Next 3 years, see myself. The way things are going, we're doing quite well in the league, and there's major hopes for us to qualify for Europa Conference League.
Yeah.
So the focus is that, I think, for me on a personal note, and obviously as a team, I think being exposed to European football would just be crazy.
Yeah.
Would help me, my career, a good experience and everything. So in 2-3 years, I see myself playing men's football is in a 10 role at high level, top division. Hopefully, even back in England or maybe somewhere else in Europe as well, and just pushing on like a established first team player. I want to say it gets thrown around a lot, but established first team player, like trustworthy in myself and a manager. Just that type of player that can be reliable and just get the job done.
So like I said, you're open to go to another country, like for example, if it was in Denmark, Sweden, like are you open with that in terms of traveling? You got no fear, or you just ready to go, ready to make it to the top?
Yeah, definitely. I think this was like the first jump that had to be made for me to be in that mindset, but now I'm definitely in that mindset because I've been exposed to it, and it's just like I know what it would be like going to another country. I know the things to expect, and yeah, it's not like I don't fear it, or there's no like second thoughts in it. Like I'm just wherever I need to go to make it happen. If there's no way, I'll just make a way in it.
Yeah. Would you, like, for example, you get a lot of players in the same position as you, left a pro club and then went to, went semi-pro. Like, would you recommend going abroad? Would you say to a player, look, you know, this is a great experience that you get exposed at different levels and stuff like that. Would you recommend that?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely recommend it to players who've come from that situation, and obviously every situation is different. So one thing I will say though is it's not for everyone. Like it will break a lot of people, and it has broken a lot of people. Like you could come out here and think it's going to be glitz and glam, or you can come out here and have certain expectations and stuff and just not pull through with yourself.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah. So it's not for everyone, but just know who you are. Know if you can do it, you can do it. Like there's no reason why you can't. You know what I mean?
Adam, how old are you now?
20.
20. Okay. So I'm only talking from experience. I had kind of the similar situation to you. When I was 19, I went to Brazil and playing. And I think you're right in terms of, you know, certain individuals it'll break you because, you know, you'll get homesick. You know, you'll think about, you know, your friends. Oh, they're having fun. I'm stuck in another country. So I definitely agree with you, and I can definitely relate to what you're going through, especially now when I'm in Japan. But listen, Adam, it's been a pleasure talking to you. It's been a pleasure to understand your journey. So yeah, like thank you for jumping on the podcast, and you know, like literally, I can't wait to see what the future holds for you.
Yeah, appreciate it, Hazey. Thank you. It's been a pleasure being on here as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, major hats off to you for your journey as well, because
Thank you.
I know that's a major shift in culture change and whatnot, but
Yeah, crazy.
major hats off to you for that. And yeah, appreciate for getting me on.
Yeah.
Just stay in touch as always.
You play in the Champions League, we'll get you on again.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, Adam, thank you.
Cheers, Lee. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.